Hey guys, and welcome to Trainz Simple Build version 2. Well, the Trainz 19 build anyway. So we continue. We're back up near the freight station, and we are replacing some of the older trees with new animated ones. So what I've decided to do on this route, I am going to thin it out on trees a lot. And we use the resources, the CPU resources we actually we save by not putting so many trees in. I actually put in some high quality animated trees in. So I'm going to try and make sure, I think I said in the last episode, that everything visually, everything you see from the static cameras, or the majority of it, is going to be animated. So it doesn't seem static. The only thing which I'll probably, I don't have much choice on is the people. There are very limited selection on the download station of moving people. Now, there are probably more moving people on the last series actually, but I downloaded those off a Russian site, and as I want to make this available to you guys, I probably can't do that, otherwise you won't actually have them. So we're going to stick to everything on the download sector. So there's a camera point here along the fence. Before it was moving, well, actually that's another thing we can be doing, is actually changing some of those camera points. So the one along that fence there we make static, just looking straight up, but we add another one in. You'll see once we actually get everything going. Now we're around the back of the line right now. That's the left there is where the portal is. We're going to head down to it now. As you can see, it's all cleared, all the bushes have gone away now. But we will be putting new stuff back. If you have a look, there's a ton of entrances actually gone as well, annoyingly, but we do find another one. It's suitable, it works. Now along here I decided I'm going to put a lot cheaper looking fences in, because we've got the nice fences, and if you see that I just doubled it. I only just noticed that today actually when I was finishing off. I've pretty much built everything now at this point. More fence work back down there. Now again, this whole area actually gets changed in the end. It's amazing, you know, as you think, as you go through it, and you think maybe the original ideas, they're good, but you can improve them perhaps. That's what I'm really trying to do. The one thing the animated stuff does do, which is one of the reasons I have to take out a lot of the non-animated bushes, is it uses a lot more CPU. And I remember that was the reason I cited for not using the animated stuff in the first place. But I got it so it will work. And again, once again, this is a camera point down here, so we do need to actually put some stuff in. Now I put some bushes in here. Yeah, there. And actually, when you actually put the camera close up on them, they don't look good. Yeah, so they get removed, and I think I end up just putting grass there. I think the twigs are okay there actually. We will leave majority of those. We're in the middle of the woods, so they will be there. Just like the other side, this will have the trees completely thinned out. All the tiny little trees, the low asset ones, will all go here. I think the more I do this, the more I come up with a vision of what I want to actually happen. We're going to put some horses, some more cows in, and all around here actually. anything which gives it a little bit more life. Now, we do have to use a lot of static animals because, well, once again, just like the people, there aren't that many, but we dot the animated ones in between them, and hopefully that's what catches your eye. There's one of the camera points. Now, one thing again I do notice that we place grass across the track there at that point, and from above it looks absolutely fine. But actually, once you get onto the train and actually look at that sort of level, it's way too high. So we have to replace a lot of that. Now, at this point, I was thinking, yeah, maybe rocks down here. The problem is as you look away, you don't see them because they go out of sight. And the more you put on, the more it does that. I think it's so it's probably programmed, a lot of these ClutterFX things, that so it doesn't impact on the GPU too much. Maybe they've done that more than the other assets, that they will hide. You can actually set the distance for them, but if you put a lot on, they still disappear. See that there, just popping in. So a lot of those rock ones I actually do remove. At this point, I'd actually got rid of on that field there with the horses. I put some of the TurfFX. Didn't work. Moved it, put the normal grass back on, the splines, and I end up taking that off as well. We just put a little bit of grass effects, just where visually you're going to see it. And actually, I think that's one of the things I find in the end, that maybe that don't put it everywhere, because it takes CPU, as I keep saying. But just put it in places you're probably going to notice. So if you're zooming along on a train, you probably don't need the scenery to be such high qualities. Next to you, it can be static. But where you're going to stop the train, or if there's a static camera, that's where you should probably put the majority of your effort in, scenery-wise. Now, the other thing, if you have a look at the sideboard, even though it's on the ground, there's an actual light going in underneath it. That's annoying. So we do fix that. We put a little hedge all the way across. And I do it pretty much all the way around, actually, in the end as well. We're just using one of those spline hedges, just a very small one. Right now, as you can see, we're actually trying to put in the woods. Now, a lot of cameras down here. I think there's 3 cameras down. There's one you can see it. And so, trying to put moving animated sort of trees in that sort of line of sight is, it's certainly needed. What you'll notice there is there's a train without carriages. The carriages just didn't really import, and I want to find some which when we did the comparison, I just put some on there, which I have from the DLC, but you guys may not have that, so I'm trying to find. I will download some free ones off the download station. Now, this area, I play this quite a bit. Again, just like the rest of it, I 3 or 4 times. That grass, for instance, was there right now. It's too long, and it will come out. I put a lot of trees and bushes in here. I think maybe you have to try these things, and I do say to you guys to actually, if you're doing it yourself, then yeah, try. If it doesn't work, take it out again. And that's what I'm doing. Probably there's too many of one bush. That's probably a little bit lazy of me, actually, that I should really have stopped and actually maybe 3 or 4 different kinds in. But I do get to a point where I'm fairly happy with it. I've worked out if you search for grass, actually you find a load of flowers and things in there as well. So we do end up using those. Originally, if you look on the pick list on the left, there they are, the animated trees I found, and there's some bushes in there as well. That's what I was originally going to use. But a lot of the animated tree grass, they are bushes basically. So So at the moment we're trying to use the TurfFX and trying to just add some assets, make it so it doesn't look flat. This is quite an important hill. Both of these sides. This is probably the most countryside-y sort of place. Again, I think, yeah, let's put those in, and then I look at them, I think, well, no. Probably small bouts of those are okay. I think probably I'm just not a fan. Also, if you see, when you're further out, you don't actually see them, the ClutterFX stuff. Especially if you put a lot in. Now, 3 guesses what I end up doing with this fence and these bushes. Do you think they stay or probably go? I'll let you ever think about that. Problem with them is, again, they're very static. And there are static cameras down here which can see them. Now originally I do think, as you can, I put these bushes on top, and the idea is if you merge a few animated bushes into the static ones, it still gives a flavour of things moving. And when you're playing the video at this speed, yeah, of course it's going to move, but when you actually do it real time, not so much. So yes, a lot of it does actually get changed. Now I put these carriages on, these are not the ones we're going to use. Although I don't show you guys, at this point I do run it. It gives me a chance to actually have a look what it's actually looking like. So then I've come back and I've just noticed, for instance, this is why I noticed underneath the backdrops here, they actually you see the light of them. I didn't like that when you went the train past. I think with anything you do in life, if you're doing something creative, you need to take a step back and actually just running it for 5 minutes. I've put probably about 15-20 minutes actually. I was just running it, watching the trains go around and looking at the scenery and what's wrong, what isn't, what don't I like. And it gave me a chance to look properly from these side cameras, the track cameras, to actually what I actually saw. So what we're doing now is just basically looking up and down. So we're looking for little gaps in the backdrop, really. As you can see, while I'm doing that now, I find more bits which aren't painted. So up and down we go. The one thing I'd say about this ballast is I do end up using one ballast colour. It matches the track. So I'm probably going against what I normally say is do 2 or 3 different layers on that. As you can see, I do actually remove a lot of those trees in the back there. That's not a bad idea if you've got a backdrop which is further away, then the static trees will look fine. But this is quite close to the track, so, and then once again there's a camera which pans around to them. There's a good actually piece of advice. If you actually do have a backdrop, it will be flat. So if you can put something in front of it, if it's got trees, then put a line of trees in front of it. It just gives it a lot of depth. Back to my favourite little village. I never did name this village. Really should have thought of one. I don't think the painting's ever going to stop on this. I think it's going to continually actually find things which are missing. Yeah, I think that tree's a little bit big. What do you think? No, still very big. Maybe that size. I think probably remove those 3 other trees there though. I like that red tree. I'm not sure what it is. It says right in front of me. Now those flowers down there in front of that camera, they're also going to get changed over, but that's probably in episode 3 or 4. Again, when running it, I look at that through that camera and all I see is a static tree and static person. So the static person, the little girl goes. I have tried to remove any static person which is actually moving, as a moving action. If they're static and actually just standing there like reading a newspaper or something, that's possible. But actually in a moving action, that's when it lets it down, I think. So that's the painting. Again, I changed that quite a few times. Now there's a camera position behind here looking towards there, towards the track. So by putting a few of these little bushes in here, again it does give the feel of motion. I think it's quite important on this route because it's not a route you play really, it's a route you view. So certainly on this route I do need to put a lot more emphasis on the visual aspect of it rather than... If you're playing it, if you had a route which you specifically make into play, you know, to make a session, it's nice to visually make it nice, but it's not the most important thing. You have to enjoy playing it. But on this one, it's really you have to enjoy looking at it. So you need to decide what it's going to be right from the beginning, I think. That doesn't look bad, but it does actually get changed. I suppose what I could technically have done is put the ballast on there and just left it. It is pretty much how it was originally, but can't really call it version 2 if I just leave it completely as it was. More bushes. I think the bigger the variety, the better. Really, they're just weeds. That's what you're trying to give the effect of. There's some. Well, I'm painting it, but I think we should. I think I do put some ClutterFX down there. Now the reason I'm repainting this is that I'd painted it earlier but the scale was too large, and as soon as you got on the train and looked at it, it didn't look very good. To be honest, with ballast, I like the scale to be as small as possible. Because what is ballast? It's just little rocks. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not sure if I keep it totally like that. A lot of these bushes will be going, and that the very big grass which I put on, that does go. But we do replace it. Just I think it looks alright in the end. I think with these bushes, there's just too many of the same thing. They're same height, swaying exactly the same, and if you're going to do that, then you might as well just put statics in, because they do it uniformly. But the over effect is what I wanted. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. There's still a few more of these left. If you'd like to, please press the like button. If you would like to see more, please subscribe. And if you press that ding-dong belly thing, it even tells you when I put new stuff on. Okay guys, see you next time. Cheers and bye-bye.